All right. So right now, before we are entering, transitioning into the question and answer session, we have one more person that would help to answer all the questions. Like I said, we have so many beautiful questions for people that are in Nigeria. They are looking to go out of the country. Maybe for people that want to be global talents. I think Elizabeth was one that wants to go to Silicon Valley, right? But you might also want to be a global talent. You want to know how the visa works. You want to know what certifications to get, maybe in the tech space, and not only tech, maybe in business management, accounting. We have so many great people here. So we are entering into that session right now. But there's one more person that is joining them, and I would just love to celebrate him, talk briefly about him as before he joins the question and answer session. So the third person that's going to be in this panel session, as the case may be, is Mr. Ola Solomon. His full name is Solomon Ajala, and he is from the Universal Credit Work. He's a Universal Credit Work coach, and he works in the Department for Work and Pension. He is an experienced finance professional with a strong background in business banking, credit analysis, and customer relationship management. Before moving to the UK, he built a successful career in Nigeria's banking sector, where he worked extensively in business development, corporate and personal loan administration, and credit evaluation. In 2022, he relocated to the UK to pursue a master's degree at Glasgow University, balancing family responsibilities with his studies. He transitioned into the UK workforce and currently serves as a Universal Credit Work coach with the Department for Work and Pensions. His journey from a finance career in Nigeria to building a new professional path in provides practical lessons on adaptability, resilience, and making the most of the opportunities as an international student. So, ladies and gentlemen, please let us celebrate one of our panelists, Mr. Ola Solomon. Please let's just have our reactions. Mr. Ola Solomon, it's nice to have you here. Can we just hear from you, sir?
Yeah, good evening, everyone, and thank you for having me here. Unfortunately, I could not listen to Itunuoluwa. I had to quickly drop off while he started talking, but I was on ground when the whole thing started, so I had the opportunity to listen to Jolaade. So that's me. That's just me. So, I'm sure I'll know quite a number of guys here, even though we have not met, because my life has revolved around students and all that. So we can make for a start. So when Faithful reached out to me and she told me she would like me to be part of this event, I said, well, it's not an issue. It's something we do almost every time. I'm always wanting to be where, great minds come together. You learn from people, you hear their own side of the story. While Jolaade was talking, I was jotting, and above all, God factor. You cannot joke with that. I'm a highly religious person. As a matter of fact, I'm preparing for all night, and no insults to anyone who is not a religious person. I mean, in this part of the world, people are free to do whatever they want to do, but then God factor is something you cannot joke with. I'm sure Itunu and Jolaade has done justice to everything. So I'll just be by the corner just to chip in one or two things. And so that's me. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So right now, you're just going to be going into the Q&A. Please, if you have questions, if you're inspired by the questions we ask, please just drop them in the section or raise your hands. Thank you so much. So right now, I think it would be really nice for me to have Miss Faithful Akombi, here with me so that we can ask those questions together, because you also know the people to target the questions to, right? So over to you, ma. Thank you so much. And for people that don't know, Miss Faithful Akombi is the convener of Avanti, which means move forward, go forward. She does not want to settle for less, and that is why she has brought great minds together today. So please, let's just celebrate her again as she begins the session for us. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Orefe. Thank you for such an amazing host moderation so far. And we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So we'll just be going straight right into it so that by 8 o'clock, everybody is out of here and we can continue our day, right? I will just start, by asking Jolaade that, okay, so we see that you were already doing well in Nigeria from the story that you told us. We see that you came here and you were working as a customer service representative before, and then you applied to the WBG and got it, and all the journey on to Deloitte now. What would you advise someone that is just starting? How would you say for someone that maybe did not have as much of a good grade in uni or was not working in a very big company for uni? How would you advise a person to go about it? What is it like to apply for big companies like that? And what's your general advice, basically? Thank you.
Thank you, Faithful. Thank you, Orofea. Thank you to everyone who has spoken up till now. All right. So what I would say, I would say that, there are some things in life that generally gives you, or that generally give you advantages, right? And I would always advise people that as much as you can, have as many things in your bag that could serve as advantages. It could be something like good grades. It could be something that and sometimes there are things you can get for yourself, but sometimes there are things that are out of your control. But let's say as you've explained now, maybe not so good grades or just limitations. I feel the first thing you need to do is assess yourself. Do like a SWOT analysis. Know your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities and the threats. The moment you're able to identify that, because you need to be true to yourself, right? My mentor she will say, to thyself be true. Like, don't lie to yourself. Know where you are at, and then you'll be able to know, okay, these are the challenges that I have. These are the things I need to do more than other people, right? So you need to identify those things, and then you understand that we're in a very competitive world, right? It is very competitive out there. So the moment you're able to analyze what your strengths and your weaknesses are and your opportunities, you're able to, tailor the things that you do, the type of courses that you take, the online courses that you take, you need to go extra mile, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? To then position yourself right there. Because the truth is, the world out here places demands, right? And sometimes the world doesn't really care whether or not you've had that advantage earlier in life or not, right? They will just place the demands on everyone. So you need to, once you do the analysis and okay, these are the things I can do well, these are the things I need to improve on, put yourself out there, do other things, get some additional skills, get to attend webinars, meet people. You see, another thing I've learned in life is the opportunities that a lot of people apply for via all these application websites and all of that, putting all the applications. Some people get it by networking. Some people go for an event and they meet someone, they're like, oh, I feel you can do the job. They skip the whole ATS CV upload phase and move straight to interview. So you can't say because, you can't say because you're waiting on like time and chance, just you want to be perfect before you start applying or putting yourself out there. These companies will continue to make this high demand. You just need to, once you've analyzed yourself and you know these are things that you're good at, start putting yourself out there, go for events, meet people, keep doing extra things. Do you understand what I'm saying? To make yourself out there and to give yourself another edge above other people, and trust God, eventually something is going to come your way.
All right. Thank you so much, Jola. I think I would just like give this question because you said the last thing you said is do extra things. What are extra things someone can do? Okay, so for especially for someone that is maybe going into business and consulting or auditing like you are in, or someone that is going into finance, what extra things can be done?
Here in the UK,
Yes.
okay, I would say that leverage on your experiences. And again, this doesn't have to be 9 to 5 or a properly structured experience. Leverage on whatever experience that you have and build your CV in that. And I'll share even my Deloitte experience. When I applied for Deloitte, and my CV was tailored to who I was, who I was, rather than what I was doing at the time. So I knew that I could be an auditor in the banking sector. That was what I positioned myself as. Even though when I was working with WBG, it was an audit firm, but they weren't really doing like big clients. They were only working on like mostly charity companies. But I didn't put on my CV as though I was auditing charity companies. I positioned myself from perspective of this is who I am, this is what I can do. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you need to also like think of those things. Some other things I can say is like do online courses, right? Do online courses in a world where like people with PhD and masters are competing for grad programs. You need to actually have a lot more on your skills, and those things are good. You need to have as many things as possible. Again, build up advantages. Then the other thing is your soft skills as well, people management, how to tackle interviews. Very, 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 very important. When it gets to some stages of interviews, they don't really go into like the technical bit. They really want to know, especially in this kind of multicultural environment, how you really fit in, how you fit into multicultural environment. So if you're someone like, oh, you've been getting past like the first or second stages of your interviews, you need to start thinking, okay, what else am I not doing right? What else am I missing? Is it maybe my people interaction? Those are other things that you can pay to get trained to go for your interviews. These things are skills that can be learned. It comes to some people freely. Some people don't have to really learn some of these things. But if you've identified yourself, okay, I really need to, improve my confidence level or the way I interact with people virtually, you can pay to get trained for these things, right? And they train you, become more confident. It even helps you when you're even writing like the assessments as well. So I said a couple of things just to recap. Do a SWOT analysis, right? Just be able to analyze where you are at, your strengths, your weaknesses. Then if you identify that maybe your technical bit is a bit shaky, go do extra certifications, not just random certifications that are tailored towards your goal, tailored towards who you want to become. Then also develop your soft skills. And then when it comes to applying to big companies, yes, they have a lot of like technical entrance exams and all of those things. You can get trained to write those exams yourself, and you can get trained for interviews. If you consider them worthy investment and you're able to do them as well, do them as well. And more importantly, network, speak to people. You can skip stages. I can go on and on about like the job I was in Nigeria. I had even failed the entrance exam, all those technical, all those GMAT exams. I'd written it, I had failed it. But somehow I met like the HR head of the company, right? And then just chatted me about like, oh, yada yada, do you want to come to? I'm like, yes, I want to come. And then I'm like, oh, I've even written your exam and I failed. They're like, oh yeah, that's fine. And he called me to come and write my exam, to rewrite like the next level in their office. I went there. I was the only one that went there on that day. I went into the office, wrote my exams. Before I got home, he told me what I got. He told me my score. And they're like, oh yeah, you did well. You're moving on. And the next day, before I even moved on to the next day, when I did my interview with like the partners, I know, before I go home, I was like, oh, the partners really like, you're going to get the job. That was literally how it happened. Trust me, I had written the exam and I failed it. And then he just called me on, and even how we met himself was very, and that it made me realize that a lot of opportunities that they announce online and all of that, people are getting this behind the scenes. Like people are actually getting those jobs behind the scenes. So you need to also never neglect the fact like you can meet people at random places and speak up. I'll tell you an experience that happened yesterday. I'm talking about yesterday because we had a drinks event at work and I got to interact with people. I met this young lady there and she came to meet me, a grad. She just joined the firm. She's like, well, hi, what do you do? And I'm like, she said, you know what she said? Oh, she's a law student. She studied law here in the UK, went back to Nigeria for law school, came back to the UK for a master's in risk management, and she just got a job with my firm as an analyst in risk management or something. I'm like, oh, you know what? My younger sister is a lawyer. She just finished this and that. Can I get your number? What's your name? I got a number for my sister. I said, oh, I met somebody. She studied law. Do you want to reach out to her, discuss, chat, and have a conversation? My sister checked her up on LinkedIn. She's like, oh, this may be really good. I'm going to reach out to her. And I'm sure they're going to be a connection from there. Like, that's literally how it is. That's literally how it happens. I got a connection from my sister just based on talking to the girl and knowing that, oh, she actually studied law in the UK. So I feel like you need to put yourself out there a lot more. Talk to people, ask them questions, know what they like. Just, just have random people on your timeline. You never can tell.
Thank you so
Right?
much.
Yeah,
So what I'm hearing is like this, like be sincerely interested in people. You don't need maybe any other thing, be sincerely interested. And you can also, all relationship is maybe not just for you, it can be for somebody, a third party or somebody else. Thank you very, very much. I would like to ask Mr. Ola Solomon, because I know a bit about, his experience because I've joined a webinar where you organized before. So how were you able to manage your experiences in school, working multiple shifts, I know all those things that we do, and have time to build your CV in a way where you can apply to and work with the Department of Work and Pension? How was that journey like for you?
Well, so for me, it was just, let me just build on what the two speakers have said. To be honest with you, Rome was not built in a day. And before I came to the UK, I was a branch manager in one of the top banks. And, sometimes when you just know what you want, like Jolaade said, do a SWOT analysis about yourself. I knew from time what I wanted to do. When I came to the UK, it was just more or less like, of course, I needed to get any job. We have this ABC of job search in the job center where I work now, in the Department for Works and Pension. You say any job, better job, and then you build a career. All right. So I knew that it was not going to be an easy one. I've told people severally at events, at sessions where we have arranged for people coming into the UK to tell them that, see, whatever it is, I wasn't looking at myself as a branch manager then. I was a banker of over 10 years. Then I come into the UK, I expected to get into the bank. In fact, the very, very first interview I had in the UK was with Barclays Bank. And that's to tell you that you cannot overemphasize the importance of networking. I actually went to an event in Barclays where we met people and all that, they talked to us. And then one of them said she never had any school education. She's a white lady. And she rose from the position of just a trainee or something. They do a lot of internships and all that. And at the time, she had risen to the position of the vice president in Barclays Bank. And that told me something that, fine, I had it in me. I know what I wanted to do. I could actually do this. So you've got your family, you've got your kids, school is there, a whole lot of things. So never lose focus. I knew what I wanted, and I was going for it. So I try as much as possible to speak to like minds. I have a couple of friends that I know where they are. So I don't mind whether or not I was or I used to be your senior or something, in quotes. We have this Nigerian mentality of, she was my junior, so why should I ask her something? I mean, who cares? Just ask questions. Ask questions. You can never get it wrong. All right. So I started applying for jobs and it wasn't forthcoming until I was talking to a friend of mine. We did marketing together in GCU. And he told me, my wife works in Scottish government as an HR person. You can give her your CV, let her just check for you. At that point, I sent it over. She did one or two things, send it back to me. I used that same CV. I got my first interview with Barclays. So that tells you a whole lot that nobody knows it all. Ask questions, network with people, know exactly what you want. So that way you're going exactly, you know the right thing to do. So it's not like you're just beating about the bush. And so if you get any job, you know where you're going to. So you know what you want to do. You want to get a better job. Then coming into the Department for Works and Pension wasn't a funny one at all. at the point when I was still in the school, serving as the vice president of the student association, I just said, okay, the time is winding down. What next? So I said, somebody said, oh, start applying for civil service jobs. I was a rookie. I just had the feelings I wanted to work in a bank. So I started applying and I wasn't getting any result. So I spoke with a friend, a junior friend, so to speak. She works in civil service. And I told her, she said, and this is just to sound a note of warning to us that whatever you can do for anybody, please just do it for them. People sacrifice their time tonight to just come to rub minds with us. And she told me that I had to pay for her to put me through on how to do personal statements. You know, it touched me so much. This was somebody that I helped get an accommodation with her family. Even before she came to the UK, I did everything and all that. And I said, are you kidding me? She said, yes. Talk to my husband. Let him you have to pay money. I said, okay, no problem. And then that actually spurred the anger in me that, no, I need to do something differently. Then I started asking people and all that. And to the glory of God, I got 2 different jobs in civil service, HMRC, DWP. I had to go for DWP. And then at some point, there's something Jolaade said again that, you know, you from each stage, you don't have to limit yourself. So I said, okay, there must be some things I'm doing that is not making me get the higher roles. And then I started doing some things again. There was a lady I met in Black Professional Scotland. Somehow we just got talking and she told me, oh, do you know you can actually do this? I started incorporating that. And then suddenly I started getting higher roles invite. Just 3-4 days ago, I just got a higher role job again that came with sponsorship, you know. Then, you know, so it just kept going like that. So you can't just limit yourself. Know what you want, go for it, ask questions, network with people, don't feel too big. Just keep asking people, just keep networking. Itunuoluwa said it too, you know, just talk to people. You never can tell. You can't just be there. No one is an island. Ask questions, talk to relevant people, network.
Yeah.
You cannot overrule that, networking.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. If there's one thing that I've learned coming to the UK, information is the actual currency here. And it's not, if you're still in Nigeria thinking of going to any country at all, information is the actual currency. From the first day you land, start talking to people. I've heard stories of people that got accommodation from the bus ride from the airport to wherever they were going. That's how they got accommodation, or that's how they got their first job or their first shift, like we call it over here. Information is the actual gold and the actual currency. So always get information. Then there's another thing I picked out from what Ola Solomon said. He said he went for an event in Berkeley's. One thing I also noticed, right? I came to the UK and of course, I'm always searching for, is there somewhere I can networking events? Is there somewhere I can meet the people that I can ask the questions for where I want to be in life, right? Generally, like that, my career goal. And I traveled to London over the summer for a bit, and I saw a UBS event going on. That's how I said, okay, it's going on. I'm here, not like I'm doing too much. I made sure that I attended the event. Although I even got there late because I was trying to figure out my way. It was my first time in London. But I got to that event. I participated in what they were doing there. I got an award, and now I'm scheduled to have a one-on-one discussion with one of the people, big people that are working in that company. So if we miss on the 100% of the opportunities we don't take. So actually research. Itunuoluwa was saying he stayed up all night researching. Research. You can't get information if you don't, apart from asking questions, if you don't research the opportunities around you. Because I love events, I love opportunities happening everywhere. There was an opportunity that happened in Scotland over here when I just moved in. And I was literally the only Black person in that networking event. And it was just so disheartening. And it's one of the things that spurred me to come up with this webinar, because there are so many other things there apart from the usual looking for money to pay off school fees and pay off all these things that you could connect with. I made connections there that I know I can still leverage upon in future, right? But if we don't take advantage of these things, it will just keep going by. Time will just keep going by. And then we get to the point where we are now rushing. Oh, my visa is about to expire. Oh, I need a job. I need sponsorship. And then we now start settling for less because we don't have the luxury of time to prepare for what we actually need. Right. So I'm going to ask this question to both of you, and I'd like us to keep it straight to the point as much as possible because of time. What about people that are, okay, I think I saw a question in the chat, but I'll just ask, what about people that are in, like Olasunmo was saying, in the better stage and are looking to build a career, but they don't know how to move forward because, again, they go to work very early in the morning, they come back stressed and they are very tired and everything, or they don't even know if it's possible for them to make a way. And I don't know if Itunu can also answer, maybe put in the chat, for somebody in tech and is saying there's no even jobs again in tech, like much again in the UK, or maybe as a UI UX person, working with an UI UX professional, how do I move to working with my certificates and doing the things that I actually love? So I don't know who will go first. Ola Solomon wants to go first, right? Thank you.
Yeah, so let me just say this, maybe privileged information because of where I work. If anybody tells you that the job market in the UK at the moment is not competitive, then that's a big lie. Because in the job center, what we do is trying to move people closer to work. And if you're conversant with what Kestama is doing just now, they're trying to make sure that as much as they can, the British, everybody is moving closer to work. People are not really dependent on benefits, so to speak. So it's really tough out there. So you need to, I mean, you can't eat your cake and have it. You're the one that would go for shift for 7 days and you're saying, oh, this is not working. You have to sacrifice. Sometimes I sleep 12 o'clock applying for jobs, and the more I throw in these applications, in fact, a whole lot of them comes back not successful, but I learn at each point in time. So you need to be resilient. You need to be ready to pay a lot of sacrifices. You need to just tell yourself that this is what I want to do. This is what I'm aiming at. So it's not, the job market is tight. I mean, a friend of mine attended an NHS interview. Let me just quickly round it off here. He attended an NHS interview and they told him that more than 5,000 people applied. Now they needed just maybe around less than 10 people. Now tell me, what do you think would make you stand out? Out of the 10 they would need, definitely, whether you like it or not, the homegrown guys would be part of the people applying too. So, and so it's just, the whole thing is just tight here and there. So you need to have your priorities set right. You need to be ready to let go of some things and all that.
Thank you so much. Jolaade, did you want to add anything or you want to leave it? Maybe one sentence. Okay.
Yes, I think I would just say that don't give up. Like, there are opportunities. There are limited opportunities, but there are people getting them. There are people getting them. So you can be that person. You can be.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wonderful posted in question. She said, is applying for a master's with an IT or internship structure an advantage to the UK job market? I don't really understand the question, but do any of you understand the question? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you want me to just answer that?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So I think what this person is saying probably is the people who come into
she
the
has
UK.
a hand up. Maybe she wants to talk. You can speak. Just try and explain your question very briefly. Thank you. Wonderful. I saw your
Thank you so much. Yeah, can you hear me, please?
Yeah, there's echo in your background.
Okay. I think it's better now. Okay, so what I was saying was, there are some master's programs that have a compulsory internship or IT structure embedded into the curriculum. So I was speaking with someone yesterday and she was saying that doing a master's that has that type of structure is an advantage because most of us are coming from maybe Africa or from other continents, and your experience in Africa or in any other continent that you have been in, it's not really much of an advantage in the UK job market. And she was explaining to me that in the UK, they really want you to have an experience working in the UK. It could be anything. And she recommended doing a master's that has an IT or internship structure in it, embedded into the curriculum, that could give you an advantage even after school and when you're applying for jobs.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
that was my question. Thank you.
Mr. Alasoma, do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So I came into the UK on Masters with Professional Practice, and that's exactly what she's trying to talk about. So the professional practice aspect of your Masters is not internship, so to speak, but that's how we look at it. It's just for you to have industry and hands-on experience on what you have studied. So most times, and what the school does is that they don't even place you in companies. They just assist you, they guide you so that you can actually go out there to get something for yourself so that you can have hands-on experience. If you do that, two of my friends actually ended up getting the job they are doing at the moment through that professional practice, which is the second year of your study. So if you're coming through that route and you are able to push through, three of them actually, one with Tesco Bank, one with British Arts Foundation, I can't remember the third one now, but all of them did professional practice, and they ended up retaining them where they did those placements. It's terrible. It can be so disheartening. You have 6 months to look for it. Some people 5 months. You know how the normal IT is in Nigeria. You keep looking for and you may not get. But if you get it, it's worthwhile.
Okay, thank you. Zoom just alerted me again that we have 5 minutes. So I'll leave this up to people for like next 10 seconds. Do we want to join in again so we can continue the Q&A for an additional 10 minutes, or we just wrap it up? You can chat in the comment section or speak or raise your hand if you're on for coming back. You raise the hand icon if you're on for coming back. Okay, so 10 seconds out. Okay, so I will just ask, I don't know if Itunu can maybe put in the chat box and say, what do you advise for somebody that is in tech and is thinking of using the global talent visa route? If Itunu can help us chat it into the chat box, what is your advice for that person? I know he's maybe probably not able to speak out now. Thank you. Oh, okay, the person should send you a message. Okay, so Itunud, can you put in the chat box the platform you want the person to send you a message through? Thank you. Okay. And do any of our speakers want to put out maybe their social media, maybe LinkedIn or something, if anybody wants to reach out or ask more questions or personal questions they don't want to ask here, or maybe because of time limits? Jolaade, you can go first.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Faithful. I might not be able to stay for longer, but if you want to connect, you can reach me out on LinkedIn. My name, Jolaade Adeyemo. My name is my name as well on Instagram, and I'll be happy to connect and help with any questions that you may have.
Okay, so Olasoma,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jolaade. Olasoma has dropped his number in the chat, so we can pick it up from there. He's very approachable, trust me, I know. So you can always ask him more questions. So we have room for one more question from anybody that wants to ask. One more question. Anybody that wants to ask? Okay, so over to Oriofe. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, thank you so much, Ma. Please, I just want us to type in the comment section as we round up. Please, everybody, being quiet. I can see wonderful Shalom Prince Fells. Thank you for this innovation. Thank you so much. I just wanted to say thank you, Miss Faithful Akombi. Thank you for being, very passionate about us and about our shift. All right. Thank you so very much. I'm sure that a lot of people learned a lot of things. And ladies and gentlemen, it is not only for maybe the UK. Anywhere you find yourself, be as interactive as possible. Try to maximize every opportunity so that it will not be that you're wishing that, oh, maybe I wish I had maybe spent more time here. I wish I had met these people. Collect numbers. Please go out. You literally only live once by the mercies of God. So please try as much as possible to make the most of your time. And we just hope and pray for you that as you begin to fill those interview forms, begin to go for those interviews, we hope that you make the best of it. Please follow through all the mentors that we have here. Faithful Akobi as well is on LinkedIn because she's actually the visionary of this, and it means that she can also help you as you get certain opportunities. So please follow Faithful Akobi. Please follow Ola Solomon. Please follow Jolaade Adeyemo, and of course follow Itunuoluwa. And of course, you can also follow me. I am Oriofe Akinola. On LinkedIn, I am a Master's of Ceremonies. Actually, I would normally do this physically, but I'm also very big on a moderator. It's just a way you put structure to things, and I really hope that you saw the difference. So thank you so much, Avanti, for having me. Thank you, Faithful. Thank you, of course, Temitope, for reaching out to her for me. Thank you so much, everyone, for around.
Thank you so much, Oriofe. I just want to use this time to round off and say thank you again to everybody that has made out the past 2 hours or so to be here and to learn and to grow and to be better for themselves first, and then for their families and their community at large. And thank you to my speakers for investing their time. I do not take it for granted. It's a privilege. Thank you for the access, and I really want to appreciate you. The recorded version will be on YouTube later in the future, and I'll be sending information to everybody that registered. And thank you again. It's over. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye. Good night.
Good night. Enjoy the week.